If I lost everything tomorrow and had to start my life over from zero, there are 7 things I would do. And I'm not talking about waking up at 4:17 a.m., taking an ice bath, journaling about abundance, and drinking mushroom coffee and staring directly into the sun. Apparently, that's how you become a millionaire now. I'm talking about the boring stuff that actually changes your life, because I've had enough time to make good decisions. I've also had enough time to make absolutely freaking terrible decisions. I've built businesses. I've spent decades working a normal career. I've made money. I've lost money. I've been in great shape. I've gotten out of shape. I've had relationships work. I had relationships fail. And I've started over more than once. When you live long enough, you start realizing something. A lot of things that you thought mattered just didn't. And a lot of the boring stuff you ignored, that was actually the foundation. So if tomorrow morning somebody hit the reset button on my life, here's exactly where I'd start. And these are things you can actually begin doing today. Before the money, before the watches, the cars, before the business, build your freaking body. And I don't mean you need to become a bodybuilder. You don't need 4% body fat. You don't need veins running across your forehead. You don't need to weigh your blueberries individually and have an emotional breakdown because somebody put butter on your chicken. I'm talking about being physically capable, strength, muscle, cardiovascular fitness, mobility, and a reasonable body fat percentage. The ability to physically do shit. Because your body is the one asset you're going to use every other thing to do every other thing on the list. You want to build a business, you're going to need energy. You want to lead people, energy. Raise children, energy. Travel, energy. Deal with stress, energy. Have sex without requiring supplemental oxygen? Probably a decent idea. And yet people treat their body like a rental car they're returning at the airport. Check engine lights on. It's been on since 2019. Front end is shaking. There's something leaking underneath. Screw it. Not our problem. Except you don't get another one. Here's what I'd actually do. If you're doing nothing right now, don't build some Navy SEAL training plan. Start embarrassingly simple. 3 strength workouts per week. Push, pull, squat, or hinge. Carry something heavy. That's enough to start. And then walk every day. Start with 7,000 to 10,000 steps. Do some cardio 2 or 3 times a week. Eat protein with every meal. That's it. Do that consistently for 6 months before you start worrying about whether Bulgarian split squats is going to activate 4% more glute medius than reverse lunges. People love optimizing stuff they haven't even started. Brother, you haven't worked out before time since Christmas. We don't need the Mayo Clinic involved yet. Here's your action step. Tonight, take a picture of yourself, front, side. Don't suck in your stomach. Don't find the perfect lighting. That's your evidence. And then weigh yourself. Document it. Measure your waist. Document it. And then on the calendar, next week, put 3 workouts. No, not I'll work out next week. No, put Tuesday, 6 p.m. Now it's real. Number 2, become valuable. Everybody wants to make more money. Almost nobody asks the most important question. Why should anybody pay me more? That's uncomfortable because the internet has convinced people that everybody deserves 6 figures because they exist. No, the market doesn't give a damn about your affirmations. Money usually follows value. If I were starting over again, I would become extremely useful at something people pay for. Maybe sales, management, leadership, learn a trade, engineering, marketing, writing, programming, operations, negotiation, communication, something. And I'd get damn good at it because skills travel, companies disappear, industries change, jobs disappear. Your skill, it comes with you. I've spent a large part of my adult life managing people and operations. And one thing you learn quickly is that genuinely competent people are freaking rare. I'm serious. If you could show up when you said you would, communicate clearly, solve problems, not create unnecessary drama, and finish stuff without being supervised like a toddler near a swimming pool, You're already outperforming a disturbing percentage of the population. So your action step, ask yourself, what skill could I become significantly better at over the next 12 months that someone would actually pay me for? Just pick one. Then spend 5 hours every week deliberately improving it. Not watching inspirational videos on YouTube about it, practicing, build something, sell something, manage something, write something, get certified if that certification actually matters. Do the work. You don't need 17 side hustles. You need one valuable skill. Number 3, stop buying a life you haven't earned yet. This one's going to piss some people off. Stop financing a lifestyle designed to impress people you don't even freaking like. Talking cars, clothes, vacation, boats, credit cards, restaurants, subscriptions, phones, whatever. People will be absolutely broke while maintaining the outward appearance of someone who isn't. It's incredible. A $900 car payment, $14 in savings. DoorDash arriving like humanitarian aid 3 nights a week. And yes, I understand the hypocrisy here. I own expensive watches. I like watches. I like night vision goggles. I like big trucks. I like nice shit. I just do. I'm not going to sit here and tell you wearing a Rolex and tell you material possessions don't matter while a piano plays softly in the background. That would be ridiculous. But here's the difference. Don't buy the Rolex hoping it makes you look successful. You buy the stupid stuff after you can't afford the stupid stuff. That's a huge difference. A luxury purchase should be the fruit of the tree, not the fertilizer. If buying something forces you to carry credit card debt, skip investing, or pray the transmission survives until payday, you can't afford it. You can technically purchase it. That's different. So your action step is pull up your last 30 days of bank and credit card statements. Categorize everything: necessary, useful, bullshit. You're going to discover some things, probably several reoccurring charges for services you didn't even remember existed. There's a gym membership you haven't used since the first Bush administration. Cancel it. Then automate money going somewhere productive the day you get paid. Savings, retirement, investments, debt reduction, whatever your situation requires. Pay future you before current you gets drunk with debit card. Number 4, learn how money actually works. This should be taught in school. Instead, we learn about mitochondria as the powerhouse of the cell, which has been incredibly useful. I've probably used that information 0 freaking times. But somehow millions of adults leave school without understanding basic things like compound interest, taxes, retirement accounts, credit, debit, insurance, emergency funds, or basic investing. And then at 45, they're like, hey man, where'd all my damn money go? Amazon knows. If I had to start again, I would learn money early. Not because money is everything, because lack of money makes everything harder. Money buys margin. Margin gives you choices, and choices give you freedom. When you have 0 margin, every problem becomes an emergency. The water heater breaks, emergency. Car needs tires, emergency. Miss a week of work, emergency. Your entire financial strategy has become hoping nothing happens. That is not a strategy. That is a hostage situation. Action step. Start with 3 numbers. Number 1, what do you actually spend every month? Not what you think you spend. Look at it. Number 2, what do you owe? Everything. Write it down. Number 3, what do you own? Cash, investments, retirement, property, assets. Then calculate your net worth. Assets minus liabilities. Maybe it's negative. Who cares? Now you know where you are. And then build a emergency fund. Eliminate destructive high interest debt. Learn your retirement plan. Learn basic diversified investing. Understand what your taxes actually cost you. You don't have to become Warren Buffett. I'm not telling you to go eat beans out of a can like Dave Ramsey would. But if you spend 6 hours researching which television has slightly better pixels and 15 minutes a year understanding where 30 years of retirement is going, your priorities are slightly screwed, just to be honest. Number 5, learn to be alone. This is a big one. And I'm not saying become a hermit, antisocial. Relationships matter. Families matter. Friends matter. Community matters. But you need to be capable of being alone without feeling like you've been abandoned on Mars. Train alone. Eat alone sometimes. Travel alone. Think alone. Sit somewhere without immediately pulling your phone out because your brain has been left unsupervised for 11 seconds. Learn what you actually think, because if you cannot tolerate being alone, you'll tolerate terrible people just to avoid it. Bad relationships, bad friendships, bad business partners, bad environments. You'll trade peace for company. It's a terrible trade. And this connects directly to what I've been talking about on this channel. If you require constant approval, eventually somebody learns they can control you by withholding it. And that's dangerous. That's a dangerous place to be. Your action step here is once a week, deliberately do something alone. No podcast, no scrolling, no group chat. Just go for a walk, a run, a drive, eat, train, whatever you want to do. Sit somewhere and think, ask yourself, if nobody knew I was doing this, would I still want it? And that's a brutal question. Would you still want the car, the job title, the body, the house, the relationship, the business? Nobody could see it. Would you still want it? You may learn some uncomfortable stuff about yourself. Good. That's the point. Number 6, control who gets access to you. Now, not everybody deserves unlimited access to your life. This took me way too long to understand. Some people bring opportunity. Some people bring peace, wisdom, laughter. And some arrive carrying a 5-gallon bucket of gasoline looking for the nearest fire. You know these people. Every week there's another catastrophe, another feud, emergency, betrayal, another person who did them wrong. Eventually, you have to consider the possibility that person isn't experiencing a rough patch. The rough patch is their entire freaking personality. And chaos is contagious. One bad business partner can cost you years. One destructive relationship can derail your entire life. One shitty group of friends can normalize behavior you would have been embarrassed by 5 years earlier. You become like the people you spend time around. Not instantly, slowly. That's why you don't notice it. Your action step, write down the 5 people you interact with the most. Next, each one put a plus, positive, 0, neutral, or a minus sign for negative. Do they generally improve your life, neutral, or consistently make it worse? Don't immediately go home and announce you're cutting off negative energy like a 19-year-old girl on TikTok. We're adults here. But start establishing boundaries. Less access, less time, less involvement in unnecessary chaos. You don't have to immediately respond to text messages. You don't have to answer phone calls. And deliberately spend more time around people who are better than you at something. If you're the smartest, richest, strongest, most disciplined person in every room you're in, you may need to find some new rooms. Number 7, build a life that can take a punch. This may be the biggest one. Build margin in your life, because something will always go wrong. Not might, it will. The economy changes, you lose your job, somebody gets sick, a relationship ends, a business slows down, a car dies, a pipe bursts. Life doesn't send you a calendar invite. And preparedness doesn't mean you need to build an underground bunker because China may invade Taiwan on Tuesday. Sometimes preparedness means having enough cash that a broken water heater doesn't require a family summit. Build redundancy financially, physically, professionally, emotionally. Have savings, skills, insurance where it's appropriate. Have people you can call. Know how to solve basic problems. Stay physically capable. Don't allow one paycheck, one customer, one person, or one institution to become the single point of failure for your entire existence. Your action step for this is ask yourself, what single event could screw my life up the fastest right now? Losing your job, major unexpected expense, your relationship ending, your business losing one customer, an injury. Then ask, what can I do over the next 90 days to make that event less catastrophic? That's your project. Not the apocalypse, not World War III, the boring emergency that statistically is much more likely to punch you in the face when you're not expecting it. Build enough margin that when your life hits you, you move backwards, you don't collapse. Here's what all of these things have in common. Notice what I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you to wake up at 4 a.m. I didn't tell you to buy my mastermind. I didn't tell you to go rent a Lamborghini. I didn't tell you to stare into the mirror screaming that I'm a lion until your neighbors call the police. I didn't tell you there's a secret morning routine billionaires don't want you to know. There isn't. Most of that shit is boring. That's the secret. Build your body, build valuable skills. Stop spending money you don't have. Understand your finances. Learn to stand alone. Choose your people carefully. Build margin into your life. None of that will make a very sexy Instagram reel or post. But do those 7 things consistently for 5 years, and your life will probably look radically different. I can't promise you'll be rich. I can't promise that you'll be famous. I can't promise you'll get everything you want. Nobody can. And anybody who promises you that probably has a course available for 3 easy payments of $997. But I can tell you this, you'll become harder to control, harder to manipulate, and harder to financially destroy, harder to physically break. You'll have more options, more capability, more confidence, and more ownership over your own life. And that's really what this channel is going to be about. Not becoming some fake internet alpha male, not screaming about politics every day, not pretending I have a life completely figured out. I don't. I made enough mistakes to produce content approximately till 2047. This is about becoming capable physically, financially, mentally, professionally, becoming the kind of person who can make a decision, take a hit, adapt, and keep moving. So if I had to start my entire life over tomorrow, those are my 7. Now here's what I want from you. Don't comment all 7. Tell me 1. Which one is that's your weakest at right now? Not the one that sounds the coolest. Not the one that you know you've been avoiding. Put it in the comments. And then more importantly, do something about it tomorrow, because watching this video isn't progress. It's saving it isn't progress. Sending it to your buddy who really needs to hear this isn't progress either. That's usually just procrastination with a referral program. Pick one, start here, and build the rest from it. Nobody's going to build your life for you. Good. That means it's yours.